Hello everyone. Before we get started today, I thought it might be helpful for you to have a list of the supplies that you will need to create these crafts. It might be helpful for you to just go ahead and watch through the video first and then decide which supplies you will need to gather. If you are making pop socket number 1, you will need a drawer or a cupboard handle and a hot glue gun. If you are doing pop socket number 2, you will need a suction cup, a plastic figure or animal, and a hot glue gun. If you are doing pop socket number 3, you will need an empty plastic water bottle, Mod Podge or White Elmer's glue, cardboard, scissors, a pencil, a foam brush, one of the following: duct tape, patterned paper like you would use for scrapbooking, or plain paper that you can draw your own picture or design on, and a hot glue gun. For the earbud holder, you will need an empty round mint tin like those pictured here, Mod Podge or White Elmer's glue, felt or cotton material, scissors, a pencil, a foam brush, and the next items are optional, but you can add a key ring and either a zipper pull clip or a carabiner clip to your earbud holder. If you're doing this step, you'll also need access to a drill. So let's get started. Hello everyone, my name is Wendy, and today I'm going to teach you how to do a couple of different crafts with items that you probably already have around your house. Now I like this idea for two reasons. For one thing, it's inexpensive. I didn't have to spend any money on it. And for another thing, these are often items that would have gotten thrown away, and this way I am recycling them or upcycling them and reusing them so that it's kind to our environment. So I have 3 different ways that we can make pop sockets today for your phone, and then we're also going to make a little container for your earbuds. So the first way that you can make a pop socket for your phone is by using old knobs off of drawers and cabinets in your house. My husband and I recently redid our kitchen, so we got new hardware for the cupboard, so you could use the old knobs off of things like that. Now, if you like this idea, but you don't have those things laying around your house, Hobby Lobby has a very nice selection of decorative knobs, and so does Menards. And again, I told you I like things to be inexpensive, so if you go to Hobby Lobby, make sure you look up the 40% off coupon. They always have one every week that you can get off an item that's not on sale, so you can save yourself a little money that way. So I have gone ahead and found a doorknob that is just like my phone. It's the same color. My phone's a little mint green. I got a little mint green ceramic flower here. And I took the screw off of the back of the knob here, and then all I'm going to do is take this knob and I'm going to use my hot glue gun, and I use a hot glue gun a lot in crafts, so if you don't have one of those, that might be worth an investment. And I'm just going to glue all the way around the outside edge of that, and then I'm going to just take it and I'm going to press it against my phone. I'll hold it there for a second, make sure that it sticks and it cools off a little bit. And that's it. That is it. It's all done. And you can see when you're looking for a knob, make sure that your fingers are going to fit comfortably under the top of the knob. And not only does this hold in my hand very well, but I can also set it down and it acts as a little rest for it. If you're just sitting and watching a video, it will prop your phone up. So that's one way you can make a pop socket. Another way that you can make a pop socket is by using a little suction cup, like what you would use to stick something on a window. And the other thing that you need for this one, you need your hot glue gun again, but the other thing you need is a plastic figure or a little plastic animal. I've got like a little cute little turtle here. I could glue him on the top of my suction cup, or I found this cute little Fozzie at the dollar store. And I'm just going to take the suction cup and I'm going to again use my hot glue. I'm going to stick it to the back of Fozzie. And the nice thing about like Fozzie is he has feet, right? So he's standing. Now that does make him a little bulkier, so if you're someone who likes to put your phone in like your pants pocket or something, this would be too bulky for that. But if you just throw your phone in like your big sweatshirt pocket or in your backpack or your purse, this would work just fine for that. And so now he has a little suction cup glued to his back, and then I would just take my hot glue gun again, put the glue around the suction cup, and then stick it to the back of my phone case. Now I did one earlier where I found a cute little Miss Piggy and glued her on, and you know, I can hold on to her like this, or again, because she has feet, it works really well if you're someone who likes to prop your phone up and watch videos. She stands there very nicely. So those two, super easy, but maybe you don't have some of those items around the house. So the last way, there's a few more steps to it, but there are things that you are probably going to find that you already have for sure. We are going to use a plastic water bottle, and what I have done is cut off the very top part of the water bottle. And I started off by using this little X-Acto knife. So if you'll want something sharp to get it started. And there's little ridges around the top of my water bottle, so I started cutting just above those ridges. You do need some of the part that starts to curve out into the bottle, not just the drinking part, because that's what you're going to glue onto your phone. And you can start off by just cutting a little bit with that X-Acto knife, a sharp knife, a box cutter, and then because the plastic they use for water bottles these days is often recycled plastic, it's not that thick. Then it actually is easier to just go ahead and get your scissors in that slit that you made and cut all the way around. And you don't need to worry about whether you're doing it perfectly the first time, because you can cut it a little bit wider than what you want it, and then once this part's off, it's a lot easier to just go around and trim it. But your scissors will easily cut through the plastic. Then what you're going to do is you need a piece of cardboard. Now the way that I found cardboard is it's just the back of a notebook. And normally that would just go in the trash and get thrown away, but I'm just going to use the back cover of the notebook. And I found something that's about the size that I want my pop socket to be, so I could trace around it. So a milk bottle cap works well, and you can just put that right on your cardboard. You trace around it, and then we're just going to cut out that cardboard circle. Now you do want your edges to be kind of smooth, because you will see the very edge of this, so you don't want to do a real jagged cut around here. And once we've finished this, then, you know, I like options. I don't know what kinds of items you have at your home, so I want to give you a lot of choices. There are lots of things we can cover this cardboard circle with. One of them is duct tape. There are a lot of really fun patterned duct tapes out there. And again, I told you, I like to be frugal, and I bought this duct tape at the dollar store. So you could go ahead and just take your duct tape and rip off a little piece of it and stick it on the circle and then trim around the edge, and you know, you've got that part done. So that's one way you can cover your cardboard circle for the top of your pop socket. Another thing that you can do is you can use patterned paper. So I have some, I used to scrapbook a lot, and so I have like some patterned paper from scrapbooks. So I've got this one here, and then I've got this one that's kind of cool because it's kind of textured. It kind of looks and feels like a basketball. So you're going to just go ahead and take your cardboard circle or your cap again and find a section of the pattern that you want to be the top of your pop socket. And I'm just going to trace around that and then go ahead and cut that out. And again, if you cut it a little bit larger than your circle, then once we stick it to the top of the cardboard, you can trim it up to match what you've already cut out perfectly. So the way we're going to stick the paper to the cardboard is by using something called Mod Podge. I like Mod Podge because once we've stuck this to our cardboard, we can also put a layer of it over the top, and it will give a nice protective coat to the top of your pop socket, and it also makes it a little bit shiny. If you don't have Mod Podge, you can use regular Elmer's glue. I would thin it just a little bit, and then I would apply it the same way that I'm going to apply the Mod Podge, and that's with a little foam brush. And again, I got this at the dollar store. Mod Podge you can get at almost any craft store. So, like I said, Elmer's glue will work as well. So we're just going to put a thin layer with our brush on top of cardboard. I'm going to stick this on here, and then I'm going to go ahead and trim around the edge so that my paper matches my cardboard circle. And then we're going to go ahead and apply a layer of that Mod Podge to the top of this. We'll do that probably at the very end. We'll put the rest of the pop socket together because otherwise it would be kind of sticky for you to hang on to. So we're going to go ahead and take our top of our pop bottle. You can go ahead, if you have the cap on it, you can leave the cap on it. But it doesn't matter. If you don't, that's fine too. You're going to put a layer of hot glue around either that top edge or around on top of the bottle cap. Stick that on here. Can hold it for just a second. And then I'm going to take my hot glue and I would glue it around this bottom edge again and hold it onto your phone case. Make sure that it's there long enough to stick. It'll just take a few seconds. And then go ahead and put another layer of the Mod Podge right over the top. It looks white while you're putting it on, but when it dries, it will be clear and shiny. So you could have that for your pop socket. Or if you have some leftover material laying around the house, you can use that as well and just cut out your circle and glue the material on top. And you can go ahead and put a layer of Mod Podge over like cotton material. I would do that. There are also a lot of really fun patterns out there of felt. I got these two at Hobby Lobby. They had quite a few of them. You can also use that. If I were using felt, I probably would not put a layer of Mod Podge over the top just because it's kind of a fuzzy material, and actually that might be kind of nice for the top of your pop socket anyway. So that's another option of something you can do to decorate your pop socket. So lots of choices there. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to make a holder for your earbuds, and we're going to do that by using an old mint container. Lots of companies make mints and use this type of container. And so basically once you have an empty container, you're going to, I would like, for myself, I would probably use material. Again, you could use a cotton material or these fun felt materials. And we're going to go ahead, and I found out that the ring of my duct tape is about the right size to trace inside of. So I'm going to go ahead and trace on I'm going to use felt for mine today. I'm going to trace that circle on the back side of my felt with my pencil, and then I'm going to cut that out. And again, I like felt too because even with your regular scissors, it will cut nicely. Now, if you're cutting material, I like to keep a separate pair of scissors just for cutting material. Cutting with paper tends to dull scissors more quickly, and it makes it more difficult to get a nice smooth cut. And so I have special scissors that I keep just for fabric only, nice sharp scissors for that. But like I said, for felt, it's a little bit thicker material and it works fine with just your regular scissors. So now I've got a circle that fits the top of my mint tin, but if you have ever used these mints, you see that they have a little part that pops up and bends up. So this is going to be our little inside part where we're going to curl up our earbuds and put them in there. But what we need to do in order for it to be able to move is we're going to cut our circle in half. And glue the two pieces on separately so that that part will move well for us. So I'm going to cut my circle in half, and actually I'm going to lay it right on there and use my thumbnail to kind of just make a nice big crease in there so I know exactly where I'm cutting. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut that in half. And then I'm going to use Mod Podge again. And I'm going to go ahead and use my foam brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and coat the whole top of my mint container with that. You could take the label off your mint container first if you wanted to, and then I'm just going to stick that on there. Let's leave just a little tiny gap just so that it can still move. And then I have my earbuds. I can just roll them all up around my hand and tuck them inside here. And in a minute, I'm going to show you how you could embellish this a little bit if you don't want to have just the container that you toss into your backpack or you toss into your purse. I'm going to show you a way that you could make it where you could clip it on. So we'll do that in just a second. All right, so if you want to embellish your mint container for your earbuds, you can add a little key ring onto it, and you will need a drill to do this with, and so you might want to get the help of an adult, and you want to put the holes about on either side of where you see the little flip top goes there, maybe about 1 inch apart. And then it does take a little wiggling and working to get the key ring in there. Once you've got it through both holes, though, it just slides right around. And then you can add a carabiner clip to this, where you could clip it onto a zipper pull or something like that in your backpack. Or at the fabric stores, I got mine at Fields Fabrics, they have these little purse pulls. And so you can hook one of those through the key ring, and then again, it has a little clasp on it too, where you can kind of hook it like you would a carabiner clip, except it's just a little bit smaller. So that way you could carry it around with you and attach it to something if you want to. And then you just fold up your earbuds inside, roll them around, and then there you are, all ready to go. I did also want to mention that at any of these, if you're doing paper on top of either the earbud holder or the pop socket, you could also just use a plain piece of paper, and if you're an artistic type or you want to draw a fun design on there, you can make your own design and it would be very definitely uniquely yours. So that could be a fun thing to do as well. If you chose to do a material other than felt on the top of your earbud container, like a cotton material, you could, again, put that Mod Podge over the top, and that kind of just puts a little seal on it and makes it a little bit shiny. Or if you happen to be using Elmer's glue, you could instead use like a clear spray gloss coat over the top. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed these crafts. We would love to see your creations, so if you post any pictures of your projects, please tag at Kent District Library, all one word, so that we can see what you've created. And I hope to see you all soon with some more fun crafts.